Let's talk about how these position changes tricks will change everything about your dynasty. So I got two categories. I got things that you absolutely need to know if you play dynasty, man. These are things that's game changing or game breaking and things you need to know if you're going to play this game mode. And I also got some things in this video that you should know, that if you want to have an enjoyable experience that can help you with one thing or another. And it's all position changes, overall, all of this stuff is related to that. If y'all do enjoy the videos, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Go follow my Twitch for my live streaming Delaware State series. So first thing first, we found a way to make vertical tight ends literally the best tight ends in this game, man. We found a way, we figured it out. So here, we all know that vertical threat tight ends, when it comes to gameplay, they probably have the best gameplay experience because they're fast, they can catch the ball, good route running, all of that, but they usually can't block as well. But the biggest issue, we know they don't get high in overall, man. We got all the tight ends in the nation right here. And we just scroll through, and you know, the highest overall tight end you're really going to see is this 87 overall. I moved my camera so y'all can see in the top right corner, 87 overall is pretty much the highest you're going to see a tight end get. But oftentimes they max out 85, and that's if you get lucky with the skill caps. A lot of times they max out like a 74, 76, even though they're a 4-star gym, 4-star normal development. 87, 86, 85, you know, the highest overall you really see the best vertical threat tight ends in the game, but we found a way to change that. So the way you kind of do that is what position changes, man. If you change their position to O lineman, you could change their tendency. And once you change their tendency, then they convert to a blocking tight end. We know blocking tight end is able to develop the best. So what you could do here, man, you could literally press triangle on this player. The guy Earl, vertical threat tight end, who is actually an 86 overall, and he's not maxed. He could get better. He could max out like an 87. We'll see how much the IQ and awareness take him, but he could get better, which is good for vertical threat tight end. But if we want for him to reach his full potential, come over here to edit player, and we're not going to change his overall. What we will do is change his position, man, and we're going to move him to left tackle. So we moved him to left tackle, and he was an 86 overall before, but guess what? Now he's a 42 overall, and we're going to do the same thing with our other two vertical threat tight ends. This guy Matt, he's an 83 overall. He's a 5-star, and he's maxed out, but blocking is the only thing that can get better for him. So 83 overall, like I said, we're going to move him over to left tackle also, and his overall is going to drop a lot. Of course, he's moving to a position he never played before. He's down to a 22 overall, man. Nasty work. Last day, we're going to move our last guy, who is a freshman elite development. Also a guy, elite development 4-star. And these caps are pretty bad. Like, route running can't get much better, and the hands cannot get much better either for vertical threat tight end. That's not good. This is not good. This is a player that would max out at like a 77 overall. The blocking will go up, but the blocking do not affect his overall when it comes to him being a vertical threat tight end, man. And then we come in here, we're going to change his position over to left tackle as well. And you see here, now he's going to be he's a 38 overall. So all of our guys are super low in overall, but one interesting thing about it, they skill caps have essentially not reset, but they could get a lot better when it comes to blocking, and it's cheap. It only costs 1 coin for them to unlock their blocking. So what we're gonna do, we're doing this at the beginning of the year, and obviously we only got one tight end. You want to do it when you got more tight ends, or you only want to change one vertical threat tight end. This method is perfect if you have a guy maxed out in overall already. So we're gonna advance. You know, we're at the or pretty much the end of the season, bowl week, all of this. We're going to advance all the way to position changes. So all we did was advance a few weeks, because remember, we started off at the bowl week, man. We started off at the bowl week 2, and all we did was advance to National Signing Day. So that's probably like 5 weeks. If you do this at the start of the season and advance the entire season, you'll see a little bit better results. But what happens here is these players are so low in overall, it's so cheap for them to upgrade and for them to get better that they have jumped up. Remember, this guy started off as a 22 overall. He's up to a 38. That's not good. It's not good at all. But what did improve is his blocking ability. Still not a great blocker. If you want him, let him marinate for a longer period of time. Let him go through training results if you want. But these other two guys, I think their blocking is going to be in a lot better spot. And I think we're at the point where we could move them back. Yeah, 99 pass blocking is a cheat code. But yeah. And then 94 run blocking on this guy. The finesse is not great, but you know, the power is in a good spot. And also same thing with this guy, finesse. We don't need our tight end to really be a good pass blocker. But now we're at position changes, and you could go ahead and move these guys back to tight end. So let's move our first guy, Earl. I believe he was the one that was an 87 overall. You see, when you move him back to tight end, he's still a vertical threat, but his overall is up a lot. He's up to a 91. Let's see, we move him back over there, and his true overall is going to be 89. With the boost, he's up to a 94 overall, man. This is beautiful. This is amazing. This is good to see. And his IQ could still get better. But now he has, you know, he still has the good hands. He still has the good route running. But now he could block crazy. For a vertical threat tight end to have this blocking, this speed, like, we're making a demon of a tight end here, man. Let's go through and let's move the other guys, man, because why wouldn't we? So we got Matt right here. I believe he was, what, the 83 overall? And look, so his blocking, pass blocking 99, run blocking 94. Let's go ahead and move back Matt over to tight end, where he's going to be a 92 overall vertical threat tight end with amazing blocking. And he's actually better. He's a 91 overall now, man. Is this cheating? Y'all let me know, is this cheating? He is a 5-star, but he did not have this blocking ability. He just did not. The strength is also pretty solid, but then you get the very good hands, the good route running, and he also has the elite speed. 93 speed on this man right here, man. 93 speed on this man right here. 200 pounds. He was a running back that we moved over to tight end, so that's why he got the crazy speed. But I mean, you see what it's doing. Now we can do it with our last guy if we want to. So with our last guy, we move him now. He's only going to be a 72 overall. I'm thinking we keep him at left tackle because he's only a 32 overall left tackle, so he really hasn't developed that blocking ability just yet. So I'm thinking keeping him. He's only a redshirt freshman, so I'm thinking keeping him at the left tackle position and let him continue to develop that blocking. And then next season, off-season training, make sure he don't get cut. He's such a low overall, you might cut him. Make sure you don't cut him, and then we'll move move him back to tight end. So there's a couple ways you could do it. You could do it early in their career. You could do it when they're like a junior, maybe they're a sophomore. Whenever you want to do it, just do it like during the season, and you can even do it at the end of the season like I did it at the off-season. Once you hit the off-season, advance the training results, and they'll just progress because it's so cheap. They'll progress. But a guy like this, KC, and if we move him to left tackle, he's going to be a power left tackle. His overall is going to drop down to 46. He's a freshman. We're going to see what happens when we do it with a freshman, KC. And we're going to advance a year, and we're going to move both these guys back over to the tight end position and see what happens. And so we actually advanced 1 week to training results. I just want to show y'all that Arrow is now maxed out, I believe at least. Let's see. He was the guy that had the IQ that could get a little bit better, and now they're both up to a 91 true overall. And like I said, you just don't see this when it comes to these vertical threat tight ends. You don't see them getting this high in overall, and then also having the elite ability to pass block or pass and run block, honestly. And let's look, our other guy here, Connor, is actually going crazy. He is up to a 65 overall, and I wish, you know, we could do position changes. You could just go in and move his position back to tight end now. He actually developed some blocking ability. You could move him back to tight end now if you actually go in and edit player. But I don't love to do that because it I feel like it glitches it out a little bit, where obviously changing his position like that to left tackle, but I don't want to keep doing it back and forth. I'd rather wait for the position changing period to change any of these players around. All right, so we advanced the year and we're back at off-season training results, and we could move both our players back. So Connor did not go in overall this past season, but we can move him back over to tight end, where he's going to now convert to a blocking tight end, and his overall is now going to be at 85. We'll take that. And we can also move KC, and we can move him back to tight end. His overall is only going to be a 74. This was the freshman. I don't recommend doing this method for freshmen. I recommend at least a redshirt freshman. Let the player max out, the vertical threat tight end max out. I think that's when you best utilize this. So now it completely converted this guy to a blocking tight end. And Matt is now, it said he was an 85 overall. We moved him back. He's only a 78. Why are we lying here, man? But yeah, they converted his overall, or converted him to a blocking, because that's now just what he's good at. We moved him, like I said, I think we moved him too early. If you wait a little bit, like when these players max out or about to max out, and then you move them over to left tackle, and then during position changes move them back and just allow them to develop that blocking ability, that's when you're able to really maximize this method. And you know, he's still a very good tight end. Like, he's still a very good tight end. Like, the catching, the speed is all there. They consider him a blocking tight end, but he still could catch, still could run the routes pretty well, and he could also block pretty well. Not amazing. It's not out this world. Not like the other guys where their blocking was, you know, in the high 90s. Other two guys, they're still on the team. I'm surprised they did not go to the NFL, but they're still here. And same thing with KC. I feel like we did it, the way we did it is like, you know, didn't really work because he's a freshman. You want to wait until these players max out, in my opinion, and then move them. So don't move them their freshman year. So this is going to be a thing y'all need to know, how overall works in this game, man. So you see a player right here. He's a 91 overall, arrow tight end. Cool. We look at the overall in the top right corner. The overall in the middle of the screen is the overall with the tactician boost from your head coach, your coordinators, whoever you got on your team with the tactician. And I like to go over the overall in the right-hand corner because that's going to be more consistent for every single player. And overall is different for every archetype, man. Like this guy right here, he's a DN. He's a speed rushing DN. If he was a power moves DN, his overall might be lower. His overall might only be at 87. If he was a run stopping defensive end, his overall might only be at 85. So what I'm saying to you guys, you have to put these players in the best position for their best overall. So every single offseason, you should go through, especially for the old lineman, because you'll catch, man. You'll catch. You see a pass protector like this, right top right corner, he's a 73 overall. You come in here, and sometimes there'll be a higher overall at the positions. Let me see if I can find one. So let's look right here at Mac, and he's a 88 overall left tackle. You press the button on him, and you see he's a blocking tight end. He's a 97 overall. Listen, you can move in the blocking tight end. I don't suggest it, man. A lot of people love to move old linemen to tight end, and I don't get it unless you're simming games, unless you don't care about, you know, any receiving stats for your tight ends. Athlete centers moving at the tight end. A lot of people love to do that. The only way I get it is for the overall advantage. If you want that player to get drafted, move him to tight end where he's his best overall. But if you actually care about gameplay at all, please do not move a lineman to tight end and expect them to play well, man. They might develop a little bit of catching, but it's going to be brutal. I don't do it. I get why y'all do it, just for the aspect of, you know, wanting the player to get drafted faster, because I do think that is valuable. But we see here, a left tackle, he's only a 93 overall. This is with the boost. You move him to guard, his overall is going to jump up one. Sometimes you move a player to a certain position, they overall might jump up 5. So another thing that y'all need to know. So you got a guy like this, you know, maybe you want to switch to a 3-4, you want to move this guy to linebacker. You could not do it, man. The speed rushing outside linebacker is a glitch in this game. If you move a guy here, he won't develop. Now, it is an advantage to this. If you move a guy to speed rusher outside linebacker, let's do it. Let's move him. You move him to speed rushing outside linebacker, and you know it's glitch when you can't actually see. So we press triangle on him. You can't actually see his ratings. It literally never loads. And they will continue to get coins, and they will build up in the top right corner. So if you move a player here, like as a freshman, if you got like an athlete middle linebacker moving to outside linebacker, sometimes they convert to a speed rusher outside linebacker, and they would never develop. But the benefit is, if you then wait a couple years, they'll literally have like 20-25 coins in the top right corner. and then you can move them to whatever position you need, and they'll use all them coins at once. So they might start off at like a 67 overall the entire career, and then once you move them during position changes, they might jump to like an 85, 87, whatever overall, however many coins they use. They might also upgrade their abilities, so it is useful in that sense if you want to do it like that. But please do not move these guys to speed rush and outside linebacker if you want them to continue to develop and get better, because they will not. Other glitch positions that y'all might see is the strong arm quarterback. If y'all ever see the tendency archetype strong arm, glitch. If y'all ever see a receiver that's called a slot, glitch. You got to move them because they're not going to develop. Next, I just want to talk about, if you care about having players get drafted, you got to come through and look at pretty much not every single player, but at some key positions. You got to look at some of these guys at other positions and see how much better and overall they could be. One popular one, the run stopping, right end, left end, moving them to D tackle, they usually jump up in overall. So I love doing it. Personally, I run a 4-3 defense most of the time. So my two inside guys, I like them to be power rushers or run stoppers. And I don't need my outside guys to be run stoppers at all. So I love moving these D ends, run stopping D ends to D tackle. They overall jump up, and also they usually more athletic. They have some higher speed, and I like it. So I usually do that. And let's look at a guy like this, James. He's a speed rushing left end. And this is something I consider is helpful to know. And you click him, you can move him to outside linebackers. Overall is going to jump up forward. Even if you move him to right end, the only thing that's going to change is his archetype. He's going to go from a speed rusher to a power rusher, and they consider him a higher overall. This is a change I would do just because it's like going to give him a higher chance to get drafted. And moving him to outside linebacker is going to give him the best chance to get drafted because overall going to go up the most. So I love to do this. And you got to go through every single position and just see where they're going to be best at. You still might play them at DN, but, you know, you might have him just consider an outside linebacker. He still might be your starting DN, but he's the outside linebacker. So another thing you need to know when it comes to position changes, you could reset abilities. You can reset abilities. Let's look here, man. We got a middle linebacker. He got knockout, house call, and bouncer. If we move his position, let's say over to outside linebacker, his overall does drop, but his abilities will change. Look at him now. He got house call, knockout, bouncer, and he gained hammer. I don't know if he had house call before, but he gained hammer. He got an additional ability. So just keep that in mind. All we did was move him from inside to outside linebacker, and he got more ability. So if you, especially with the O-line, you could finesse it a lot. If you got a guy with no abilities, you know, and you want him to get some abilities, you could move him around, and he will now have some abilities. Let's see here, man. He has strong grip on Hall of Fame, man. He got that thing on purple. Let's move him to the other guard position, and let's see if he'll lose any abilities. And now he got strong grip, and he also have ground and pound on gold. So this could be considered a little cheesy. If you don't want to do it for your dynasty, don't do it. I'm just giving y'all the information. Y'all do what y'all want with it. I don't do it for my dynasty. I don't purposely do it. I change positions. Like the only way I really change O-lineman, if we have a low amount of O-lineman at one position. Like we only have one center, one guard, one, like here I might move someone to that other guard spot just so we have, you know, 3 at every position. So that's the only way I really change position on the O-line. I try not to cheese it for my dynasties, but I'm here to provide you with the information. One thing that is helpful to know that a lot of y'all already probably know is moving wide receivers to running back, moving anyone to running back. Quarterbacks, athletes, quarterbacks, they overall always jump up, man. Bob right here, he's a 91 overall, 93 with the boost. You click here, go to running back, he jumps into a 98 overall. And I feel like it'd be capped because, you know, as far as like their actually running back ability is not that good. Like he is an amazing receiver, 99 catching traffic. He only got 85 speed. He is slow as hell. For a receiver that's 93, 91 overall, route running not amazing, release, but carrying 99. But you move him, and even his ball carrying vision is only at 82. But you move him to running back, he's jumping up to a 98 overall. Let's look at another guy here, John. You move this guy to running back, he's jumping up in overall. So you often see, man, these guys just jump up in overall for some reason. We got a scrambling quarterback. He's an 86 overall, 91 with the boost. Let's see here. He's going to go up to a 99 overall running back. Should he? I don't think so, but you just oftentimes see, especially with the athlete scrambling quarterbacks, they're higher overalls at running back. This guy, not the case. He wasn't an athlete. He was just a regular scrambling quarterback. It got to be the athlete scrambling quarterbacks, but it's helpful if you want a player to get drafted. You know, it's helpful if, you know, you want a high overall, but actually gameplay results, I don't think these guys are good running backs. I really don't. I don't think this guy will be a good running back at all. So the last thing that's helpful to know when it comes to position changes, we're actually going to come over here to the recruiting prospect list. I want to go running back. You go 4 stars, 3 stars, 5 stars. It don't matter which star they are, but every running back archetype got an athlete. You don't get that for every position, but what I want to focus on is the power athlete running back, man. I think this is the best, one of the best D linemen in the game. They're going to come in with crazy speed. They're going to transition to like a power moves D lineman, but they come in with the crazy speed, and I swear they produce the most. They produce the most sacks, man. Speed going to be around 90. Let's scout him. Let's scout him, man. We add him to the board. Let's just see how good Buddy is, man. And you move him to the D-line, 88 speed coming off the edge. You get some of these guys coming in with the 91, 92, 93 speed coming off the edge. They strong. They not big. I was about to say big, but they got good strength. 85 strength on a edge rusher. You can keep them at running back if you want, but I love moving these guys to D-line, whether it's D-end, left end, right end, whatever. I wouldn't do D-tackle. They're small, 5'10", 229 pounds, on a little bit of the smaller side to come off the edge, but height, weight, I feel like does not matter in this game. They produce like crazy. Please try this. Please try this. I think this is one of the better D-ends in the game. Other than that, that's all I got for y'all today, man. If y'all learned anything at all, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. And click the video on the screen now for my temple rebuild.